Hey, David. Want to get you your first update video on cricket. Show you what's going on with the girl. Come here, baby. Show you what we've been working on this week. Try to talk about a little bit of a plan of where we're headed, what's going on with her. This week is the getting to know you week. So Cricket and I have been spending time together, trying to establish, a relationship and kind of the roles in that relationship. The role is, of course, we need to be in control and she needs to follow some rules. I'm kind of taking this as, I'm trying to be the bad cop, I guess is what we're going to say. I'm going to be in this month kind of the firm disciplinarian. That doesn't mean that we need to be harsh or I need to be, hurt her or anything like that. It simply means that I'm going to be the guy who's going to be establishing rules, and I'm going to make her follow them. And then what that leaves is that leaves you to be the good cop, so that we can help fix these issues. Like right there, she thought about putting her feet up on me, but we had a little discussion about putting feet on us, and she's understanding we don't do that. Feet do not come up on people. That's completely unacceptable in all circumstances. We worked on. I don't even want to give a command for that. If I do give a command, it would be no. No just means stop what you're doing. If I would give a command, I would say no, and I would say sit. Because if a dog is sitting, good girl, good sit. If they're sitting, then their feet aren't up on us. So we're not going to introduce some elaborate command for that. That's just a behavior we're going to stop, and then we're going to give her something else to do. So I think we're off to a good start with Cricket. She seems to be fine working with me. We've gotten to know each other pretty quickly. I did move her here into the main kennel building with all the other dogs, so we're getting along just fine. I wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm going to teach her these commands so that you can understand what I did and how you can continue this. Because, of course, this is all part of her development for her whole life. We want to see her grow and continue to develop into a fine gun dog and a good companion, a good family member, and having a solid obedience foundation is a big part of that. And for me, I want to see a dog that does this. I want to see a dog that will put her head up against me, that will let me rub her ears. We don't want to see a dog who's afraid. We're not using fear. We're not using intimidation. We're just establishing roles that I'm going to be the one in control, and she's going to have to follow some rules. And so what that means is what we need to do next is we need to help her understand what are those rules, right? And so the way that we teach that is by using very simple tools. So the first tool I'm using is a leash. That's kind of a unique setup, and I always try to show this on camera so you can see exactly what I'm doing. This is nothing more than a flat vinyl coated canvas material or a rubber coated material with a standard clip on the end, and then it has a ring that slides on the material. And what that does is it allows me to clip this on here and create a simple slip lead that will, anytime we pull, will pull on her and she will feel pressure. But as soon as we're not pulling, we need that to come off immediately. And that's really the trick of how we communicate with the dog, is through a little bit of pressure so that she understands, hey, what you're doing, I need you to change. And that's how we communicate with the dog. We're going to extend, no, ma'am, no. Yeah, we've talked about that. So we want to be able to use pressure as our means to communicate with the dog. So with Cricket, what we're going to do is we're going to use the slip lead here to help teach these commands, and then later we're going to use the e-collar to enforce those commands at any location. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use 3 words with her. Those 3 words are heel, here, and sit. We are going to use sit. Will be right here on the mat, and I want her to sit and stay put. I am not using the stay word. I don't use stay. You can, if you want to reinforce stay. That's fine. I'm not going to use it. because in the short amount of time that I have, I want her to understand just sit down, right? And sit means don't move, just sit. Um, so that's how we're going to do that. Heel, heel, good. Heel means I want her walking beside me politely. No pulling on the leash is what we should see. I want her come on, heel, good. I want her to walk. I want her a little bit more in front of me. There you go, good. We don't have a lot of space here indoors. I want her to walk with her nose in front of me and her tail behind me. Come on, baby. Heel. Good. Good. I want to see tail wagging. I want to see a dog that is not slumped down to the ground and fearful. We don't want to see that. Right? So we want to make sure that we're not applying so much pressure that we squelch her spirit. Right? So Cricket seems to be okay with heel. We're making some progress there. I like what I see. That's not bad for the first 4 or 5 days that we've been here. Okay, so heel and sit seem to be going just fine. I want to show you how we're going to teach the here command. We're going to teach here by doing heel backwards very quickly. Let me show you what I mean. Good. Cricket, here. Heel, sit. Good girl. Oh, here, sit. Good. And she wanted to lay down there. I'm not going to fight the laying down command. I'm going to focus just on sit. The lay down command is actually very useful in certain places. Generally, in the gun dog world, we try to limit down in a hunting situation, because when a dog is down, that lowers their sight profile to what they can see to mark a bird. So I generally focus on sit and don't use down nearly as much as I use sit. But I'm not gonna worry too much. If she comes back here and lays down, then I'm not gonna correct her harshly. I'm just gonna give her a little pat and say sit, and bring her up to me. All right, so let's do that a little more. Come on, good, good. Let's go heel. Good girl. And I want to see her walking politely without pulling on the leash. And a big thing that helps this, come on, good, come on, come on, is we're working indoors. So there's not a whole lot that can distract her. There's no leaves blowing. There's no squirrels running by. Come on, that's a good girl. We're not going to be so distracted by having this smaller, more controlled environment. Good sit. Okay, good. And we give lots of praise, lots of reassurance here, lots of love, right? Lots of ear scratches, because we like the ear scratches, right? Because we want to make sure that while we are setting, while we're setting a very high level of expectations, we also want her to understand that we're still going to work together. We're still going to be buddies. It's just that we're going to establish some rules and make sure that she understands what those rules are. So I think we're off to a good start. Cricket and I are doing fine. We'll keep rocking and rolling from here, but I think Cricket's going to be just great.